We welcome you to our campus now. The leadership team of Koshys Institute of Management Studies give the motivation and support to various events of departments. I would extend my warm greetings to Dr. Prakash P. Nayak on his absence, Dr. Sandhya Ma'am, Principal, Professor Amla Sen, HOD, BBA Aviation Department, for gracing the occasions. I welcome the faculty team and the students to this event. I am sure that this session would definitely encourage, enlighten and empower all of us. Now, let us invite Kumud from First BBA Aviation to introduce the guest speaker of the day, Dr. Safiya.
Good morning. Dr. Safiya is the Medical Director of Mind and Brain Hospital. She has a total of 17 years experience and has a keen interest in child and adolescent psychiatry, de-addiction, adult mental health, rehabilitation, psychiatry and psychological. She has finished her MBBS, DPM, MSCP, FIPS, IM, Women Entrepreneurship Program, Shakura Field, inclusive education training and dealing with a special needs child. She is a life member of Indian Psychiatry Society, Karnataka Psychiatry Society and Medical Council of India. She has involved in various charitable activities like medical mental health, education in school and camps for the unprivileged and vulnerable in the society. And also she is awarded for PC Roy Young Achiever, awarded Bangalore 2014, Best Psychiatrist Award in Bangalore 2017, Best Rated Excellence Award 2022.
So what is substance abuse? Substance abuse is not something that you could take lightly. It occurs when you use alcohol, prescription medicine and other illegal and legal substances too much or in a wrong way. Generally, when people talk about substance abuse, they are referring to the use of illegal drugs like cannabis, heroin, etc. Is it harmful? Yes, it is. Drugs of abuse do more than alter moods. They can cloud judgment, distort perceptions and alter reaction times, all of which can increase the risk of accidents and injuries. In the first comprehensive national survey of the extent and pattern of substance abuse in India, the National Drug Dependence Treatment Center found a sizable population of young people, around 15.8 million children between age of 10 to 17 affected by substance use disorders and in need of urgent help. Now let us hear more about this from our guest speaker. Let us welcome Dr. Safiya with a big round of applause.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. So all of you are comfortable talking about it? I want full participation, then only we can make sense. Otherwise, I'm going to give some lecture and go out and it is not going to make any, it will not be no use. Okay? At the end of the session, I want you all to have some takeaways so that you use that as a tool for your life. Okay? Why did I start with smoking? Why didn't I ask you anything else? I could have asked you how many of you take MDMA. I would have asked you other questions also, right? But why did I start with smoking? Exactly, it's very easily available, very easily accessible, very culturally appropriate. You can smoke anywhere, nobody asks you, right? It's okay, it's as if you're breathing. Nobody is going to question you, why are you even smoking? Okay, but smoking is a gateway drug. Okay, that is where you enter into the world of drugs. So when you look at younger generation today, so they start as an experiment as early as 10-11 years with the smoke. The smoke slowly becomes mixed up with the cannabis, and that's called hash. Then that slowly escalates into MDMA, then escalates to LSD, then becomes heroin, it becomes cocaine, and then by the time you know, you're experimented with everything. So what starts as the innocent beginning can lead to disasters. So we have to be extremely aware when an innocent move is becoming a disaster. So that's where we are here to tell you what are the red flags, when are we supposed to be alert, what is the things which we need to do so that we do not make our life a disaster, not the people around us. You know, when you are into substance, you are not only destroying you but entire family. Okay, so we are here to talk about that. So what happens in a young population like you? You are all away from home. You are here with a motive to study, become tomorrow's leaders, become something capable in your life, right? So all of your parents have struggled hard to send you here, and they would have given you a minimum pocket money, right? So what happens when somebody starts using more substance? Substance costs you money or no? It costs you, na? What's the one cigarette cost? 10 rupees. Quite a lot, na? 10 rupees per cigarette. If you are taking 10 cigarettes, it's 100 rupees per day. So it becomes 3,000 rupees per month. So how much is your pocket money usually? How much pocket money all of you get? You're all very rich, is it? So still that costs money. So what happens in young generation when they don't have money to take drugs? What they will do? They will start lying at home first. First they will start telling stories at home. There is a seminar, there is a there is a very important project coming up. I have headache, I have been admitted in ICU. Isn't it? So lies start, slowly you start lying without even recognizing that you're making a mistake. The lies then starts when the lies are not working, maybe it will work for 1 or 2 months. Then the lies are not working at home. Father understood, now this fellow is lying. Is not giving you any more money, then what will you do next? Huh? You'll rest. Or what will you do if somebody is taking drugs? What will happen to that person when he doesn't get that cigarette, or if he doesn't get that drug? What will he do? He'll start getting irritated, isn't it? He'll start getting very annoyed. He will not be able to concentrate on his work. He cannot able to enjoy anything. So what he will do for the money? He'll start stealing money, isn't it? He'll start stealing from friends, he'll start lying to friends, he'll start borrowing money. Once he starts borrowing money, what happens? Your relationship starts getting spoiled, right? You start having conflict within your friends. So once that happens, what happens? You start becoming even more irritable and lonely, because now you're losing your friends also. You first lost your trust of your parents, then you lost friends, now you're losing slowly your own self. So what is happening in today's scenario? When that also fails, now friends also know this fellow keeps borrowing money for drugs. So what happens next? You start stealing, you start robbery. Then it goes to the next level of criminal intentions, that I will get drugs at any cost. I am ready to steal, I am ready to beg, I am ready to borrow. Okay? So what happens to our morality? It starts becoming diluted. Now, once we are diluted within ourselves, we are ready to do anything. Now, once we have stolen, now we have entered into the world of criminals, right? We have already become that. So what is happening in today's scenario in Bangalore? When people don't get an access to steal also, the next step is they are becoming peddlers. Okay? I don't think this is a new story for all of you. You must have heard it, right? So many many young kids are today peddlers? Because they are not having access to money and they want the drug at any cost. So the stages of the drug use is very important for all of us to understand. First we start with the use. Okay? We just use it for experimentation. So why do you use it? Why people experiment with substance? For peace, for peace of mind. Okay, then for peace of mind directly. Okay. Huh? What is it? Be loud, Sugam. Sugam kittunnundu adile. Okay, പിന്നെ ഓപ്പണിൽ പറഞ്ഞില്ലെങ്കിൽ മനസ്സിലാവില്ല, എല്ലാം കൂടെ പറഞ്ഞ് മനസ്സിലാവില്ല. ഓരോരോന്നായിട്ട് പറയണം. നല്ല സുഖമാണ്, നല്ല സുഖം കിട്ടും, പീസ് കിട്ടും, പിന്നെ സ്ലീപ്പ് കിട്ടും. ഓക്കെ, പിന്നെ തണുപ്പ് മാറും, പിന്നെ മൊത്തത്തിൽ സുഖമാണ്. ടെൻഷൻ കുറയും. ഓക്കെ, ഡിപ്രഷൻ കുറയും. വെരി ഗുഡ്. പിന്നെ സ്മൈൽ കൂടും. ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ, ഇതൊക്കെയാണ് ഞങ്ങൾ ചിന്തിക്കുന്നത്. ഞങ്ങളെ സ്മൈൽ കൂടും, ഞങ്ങളെ സമാധാനം ഉണ്ടാവും, സുഖം ഉണ്ടാവും, ഡിപ്രഷൻ ഒക്കെ മാറും. Those are our misconceptions. It is actually a deception. You know, it is actually increasing your depression. Your smile will go away. Not only your smile, the smile of the entire family and the entire college will go away once the addiction happens. Okay? So why are we so easily looking into drugs today is because of our heroes. Right? Our celebrities are taking drugs. Our people around us are taking drugs, and it is made in the media everywhere. It is a cool culture, right? It's very nice to take drugs. And look at them. So all of them who are our role models are into substance. So we feel it's okay to do it. Now we are having a paradoxical communication. I'm saying it is not okay to do it. Okay? So recently there was one big issue which happened with that Pan Masala ad. You all know about it? The Boycott Bollywood thing came up where people, all three mega stars were promoting Gudka. Isn't it? So when people like them are promoting Gudka, young kids like you can get very easily influenced because our celebrities are taking it. Our heroes are promoting it on the media. So why should not I take it? Isn't it? So we should question it or no? We should question it because there are consequences to the action. Okay? So there are consequences which can be quite painful. So this is a video which talks about the consequences of substance abuse. Please go through it.
दिल बदल दे, मेरा 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 दिल बदल दे, मेरा.
The consequences are far more funny than what we are talking about. Okay? We lose out on many more things in life than what we gain. We lose our time, we lose our peace, we lose our money, we lose our respect, and at the end of it, we lose our own selves. So let's take it very seriously. Okay? So how many of you celebrated New Year's today, this year? I mean, this 31st of December, how many of you celebrated? All of you? How many of you celebrated with alcohol? Only two, such a good crowd. Only two of you drank, so nice. Huh? You have not? Nobody has drank? So can you imagine a celebration without drugs today? Can you imagine alcohol? Yes. Very good. Say it loudly. Can you imagine? Very nice. So we have to understand that celebrations can be beyond alcohol. So, happy occasions is equal to drugs? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes? Happy occasions equal to drugs? Yes or no? No. Loudly? No. Loudly? No. Loudly? No. Very good. So, happy occasions are not equivalent to drugs. Happy occasions are equivalent to happy people, families, friends, and social connections. Let's change the definition. It will start from Koshys. Okay, all the Koshites will tell happy occasions are with people and not with drugs. Okay? Okay, yes or no? Yes, thank you. So, when do you make a decision? Any decision for that matter. To maybe, let's not only talk about alcohol, anything, any coming to Koshys. Why did you choose Koshys? Why did you choose aviation? Why did you choose Bangalore? Why did you choose what you chose, whatever? തെറ്റ് പറ്റിപ്പോയി അതാ എങ്ങനെ തെറ്റ് പറ്റും തെറ്റെങ്ങനെ പറ്റും പറ്റിപ്പോവും അതാ എങ്ങനെ പറ്റിപ്പോവും പറ്റിപ്പോകുന്നത് എങ്ങനെയാണ് So wrong decisions we make in life because we don't know the right decision was actually easy. We always had a choice. It was not that we didn't have a choice. Right decisions were easy, but we didn't know how important it was. I repeat, in life, we make wrong decisions, not because wrong was good, but we didn't give importance to the right decision. So let's be conscious for all the decisions we make in life that it is right and easy. Sometimes the wrong one looks nice, glittery and fashionable. It looks more attractive. So we get succumbed to it. So let us be wise enough to look at options and the consequences. So the first step for any action is the decision. So let us all be aware that we have a choice to make. We cannot succumb to the pressure around us. Yes? For all your life decisions, okay? So you should know that we have a choice. We don't have to get under the pressure of society, pressure of parents, pressure of friends, pressure of anybody. We don't have to succumb to it. Okay? Yeah. So how do you now take the right decision of not taking drugs? Okay? How do we say no? First and foremost, all of us should know what are our triggers and what are our temptations. So how do we identify our triggers and our temptations? So all of us have our own stories to say, right? Do anybody want to share? When do you feel like drinking? Anybody wants to open up? So we all should identify what are our triggers. In younger crowd, it is mostly boredom. Because we are getting bored, we just want to feel good, and that's why you succumb to substance initially. And then sometimes we feel it's very fashionable and it's a cool thing, so everybody else is doing, I'll also do it. So that's another trigger. Another trigger to show off, right? See, I can do this, my tolerance is so much, my power is so much, I am so big, you know. Some people want to show that off also. This much I can drink and nothing happens to me, you know. I can take 2-3 liters and I'm still driving. So, you know, that kind of a show off allows us to take risks. So that is another trigger. What else is a trigger? Places where you have previously drank. People whom you have previously drank with. So when you meet them, when you see those places, when you are bored, when you are emotional, when you are very, very happy, when you are very, very sad. So for anything there could be triggers. Triggers could be different for different people. So we need to understand that. So you have to understand your triggers and temptations. What tempts you? What triggers you? Once you identify, you have to learn to tell a no. So how do we say that? First of all, loudly, clearly tell no. As simple as that. So when somebody is offering you, when somebody is forcing you, when you yourself feel compelled to go, when there's a party where there's substance, so tell no. Frequently tell no, even though your inner heart would want to tell yes. You are still tempted, but you should control your conduct and tell no. Okay? But telling no it's not that easy. It can be quite difficult in circumstances where there is so much of, stimulations. There is a Saturday evening, there's a good restaurant and there are good people. To tell a no, you should really have a lot of inner courage. So how do you develop that inner courage? So there's something called as a broken record technique. Here, what we do, first of all, you have to be sure and firm that I don't want this. Okay, that should come from inside you, not outside you. Once it comes from inside you, whatever happens, you should tell no. Now what happens typically in the college circumstances is one of your very nice friend will tell you, "Vada innu kudikam." Appo you will tell, "No man, I am not coming today." So then he will tell first no you told. But then that fellow will tell you, "What man, you have become Gandhiya now? You are not drinking." He'll trigger you. Right? Then again you will tell, No, I am not coming. I have made a decision." Then that fellow will get angry. He'll like, "No, you don't value my friendship. Am I not important for you?" Yes, of course. Right? Of course, you deal with it day in and day out. So, then third question will be, he will become emotional. He will tell, "I am not important for you. You are not respecting my request." Then he will put you in a guilt. "Oh, now this fellow is feeling bad. Now I have to say yes." Should you say yes? No. In broken technique, you will say, "I don't want alcohol, but I love you as a person. I can come with you for a dinner, but not alcohol." So we are breaking the other person's ability to persuade you with the power of your willpower, that you are telling the other person, "Now you cannot put me in a guilt trip. You cannot make me feel emotional. You cannot force me." Then after he became emotional, when that does not work, then he will get angry. Then he will tell, "Oh, I have done so much help to you. I have helped you that time, this time. You give me back all the money I gave you," whatever. So again you have to tell, "I will not drink with you, but we can talk about the issues we have separately. We can resolve our conflict separately. That is not related to my decision." So that ability to keep on telling no is called as broken record technique. Self-regulatory methods is regulating your own self with respect to your emotions, anger, your frustrations, your own. Sometimes the reason for the substance use will be your own emotions. You are overwhelmed, or you are angry with somebody, you are not able to communicate. So it's important to regulate yourself. The regulation of the self starts from regulating your body. You should eat well, you should have a nutritious diet, you should sleep well, you should be well rested every day. Whenever you feel tired, make sure you calm down, you take rest, don't go. When you're tired, you feel like drinking, you feel like smoking, you get more irritated. And also loneliness. Whenever you feel lonely, make sure you have reasonable, healthy substitutes to handle your loneliness. It need not be drugs every time. It need not be anything addictive every time. It could be a walk. It could be a talk to a friend. It could be learning something new. It could be connecting with new people. Connecting with yourself. Connecting with society. It could be connecting with the divine. You could pray. You could handle your loneliness in a better way rather than succumbing to drugs. Controllability. That's again very important. We can get very impulsive suddenly, we can't control ourselves. We are so high on emotion that you want to do it at any cost. So the understanding our own impulsivity, why are we so impulsive? Why are we not able to handle ourselves? All that needs a better understanding. It could be something else. It need not be drugs. You're sad about something, you're depressed, you're having anxiety, you may be having a family conflict, you may be having some other trouble, you could be going through some crisis. So learn to handle that in a different way rather than taking drugs. The more you succumb to drugs or substance, your ability to deal with the reality becomes numb and you lose the ability to make proper decisions. So we have to learn to express our feelings and needs in a better way. Whatever need it could be quite confrontational, it could be quite touchy, it could be very painful, it could be something which you cannot talk to anybody. So during those times, I insist, please take medical help. Talk to counselors, talk to psychologists, talk to psychiatrists, talk to helplines. There are so many helplines available now. So there could be moments in your life where you're thinking, you're hurt for some reason, you may be going through something painful. So do not take substance as an alternative. Talk to people. Express yourself. Being honest is beautiful. So everybody of us are flawed. Nobody is perfect. All of us have our own limitations, and that's okay to express. So please express yourself more often and find a safe net where you feel good to talk to and where you can connect to people and have a meaningful relationship. So internal consistency is ability to be the same all the time. Today I cannot be in a high mode and tomorrow I cannot be saying no, substance is the best thing which happened to me in life. So we have to tell ourselves that substance is bad and that consistency is required, because we cannot get carried away by what superficial pleasures it gives you. We have to be always aligned to the painful consequences it can have on your life. So having an internal consistent effort and firm belief is very necessary as an adult. You're all adults now, we are going to be responsible citizens of our country. So the consistency, the directions which you choose are very, very important. So have that internal consistency which will help you to set goals which is beyond pleasure. Right? Pleasure and comfort zone is not where we want to be in life. We have to have bigger goals. We have to face challenges, isn't it? So you're in the aviation industry, you want to be best in that, right? You want to be best in your profession. You want to conquer bigger things. So have better goals. Let us not look at here and now pleasures. Let us look at bigger goals, bigger directions. Let us see big. So have better goals in life. Don't be small. And have a better decision-making ability. Don't succumb to here and now pleasures. So you will feel now today only, tomorrow onwards I'll be better. That tomorrow never comes. Because today you feel only today, tomorrow I will change. And tomorrow never comes. So be very firm with your decision-making. So one of the biggest problem why you cannot tell no is because of the problem with instant gratification. So what is instant gratification? You immediately want to feel good. You don't have the ability to go through the pain of waiting, go through the pain of telling no, and not taking drugs can be, you can feel bad. You can feel that I am empty. I'm not enjoying anything. Nothing is replacing it. Nothing makes me as happy as it. You're seeking it, you're chasing it, you're running behind it, but still you're told to stop it. So it could be a painful phenomenon. So having to go through that pain of processing the information, having to go through the pain of, going through that loneliness has its own intrinsic value. If you instantly gratify ourselves all the time, we don't learn. Our brain don't learn. Our brain don't learn to wait. Our brain always wants to be in a pleasurable zone, and there is no growth in pleasure. Right? If you are always in the pleasurable mode, you are not growing. So understand that. So have a growth mindset. Become entrepreneurs. Become leaders. Seek knowledge. Chase learning instead of superficial pleasures of life. So turn from becoming an instant consumer to a critical consumer. You are all potential consumer to the market, which is selling drugs. That's $1 billion, $1 trillion drug. You are the potential consumers. Understand? The being in business. So don't be foolish consumers. Don't be instant consumers for them and make yourself available. Become critical consumers. Don't be a guinea pig for their experimentation. So if your youth is gone, in the experimentation somebody is making, who is at loss? Who is at loss? Whose youth is gone? Whose time is gone? Whose money is gone? It's yours. The loss is yours. And who has gained? Those masterminds who's behind all this, who is trying to make money, making your emotions as a scapegoat or as a wild card. They have gained money and you have lost your youth and time and the precious energy which the youth has. So be conscious about it. Don't become foolish and succumb to the trap which you are all potentially going to be trapped into. So let us think long. We all want to see you as tomorrow's entrepreneurs and leaders. We want to see you in papers and making, getting those funding, and we want that from you. So have that mindset. Become nation builders. Think big. Learn more. Knowledge has its own power. Our brain is changeable. Talents can be gained. We can make deliberations. We can have practices which can make changes in the brain, which makes every act enjoyable as taking a drug. Getting knowledge could be enjoyable. You can induce dopamine by rewards. Give yourself reward when you've done something good. Give yourself reward when you have helped somebody poor. Do something for the community. So that helps you bring in the inherent dopamine, which can give you much more pleasure than a drug. So let us change the directions. Let us change the way we are going. So let us be deliberate in our options. And focus on the efforts which you are making and not the outcome. Sometimes we may relapse. Sometimes you may go back to substance. Sometimes you can fail. But it's not the failure, it's the ability to get up again and start running. The race is what matters. So let us admit, as humans, we are all powerless. We have all born with our own limitations. We all depend on a greater power than ourselves, which could be societal rules, it could be the moral values, it could be God. It could be anything which is much more powerful than us. Let us submit ourselves. Let us admit our wrongs, that we have been wrong, we have made mistakes. Let's share things honestly. The more honest we are, the more open we are, the more better we are. Let us remove the defect in our own characters. Help our friends and families to remove the defect in their characters and help us remove the shortcomings we are all having. Let us make amendments with people which we have harmed. Let us go back and ask sorry with parents or friends or whomever we have harmed because of the behavior. Let us pray, meditate, reflect and love ourselves. And we spread the message to our own friends and family so that they also rise up. So let us not be desperate by taking substance. Let us not be in a place of helplessness. Let us move from desperation to being inspirational and become a value addition to the universe. Let us give back and be a responsible people. Thank you.
So good morning ma'am and good morning all. So my question is, I'm not asking you this question as a volunteer but as like a student itself. So we are listening to a lot of awareness these days, awareness classes, not only in drugs, through feminism and all. So even if we are hearing this much awareness classes, our generation is still in too much into drugs. And this generation is too smart also. They know a lot about these things. Even though they are going behind drugs, they feels like it's like a liberation or it's like a freedom. And most of the time we are away from home and we feel exhausted and we sometimes feel existential crisis too. So what do you think? Is awareness is enough for us to get out of this circle of drugs? Or one day of talk or 2 days of talk will help us to make our changes or to change our perspectives on this? What's your take on this?
Thank you. So, the distance between awareness to acceptability is a lot. So, as she rightly pointed out, all of us know this. Whatever I said today was nothing new. All of us know this. But we are not ready to accept it, nor we are ready to be accountable to it. Right? We believe being emotional, being instant, and having a here and now approach is taking us somewhere. Somewhere we are fooling our own selves by being in this bubble that we are doing something great and liberational. When our mind is blind to the possibilities, our eyes are blind to the opportunities. When our minds are shut down, that what could happen, so our eyes automatically shut down to the consequences too. So at the end, if we have this attitude of not being acceptable, who is paying the price? Who is paying the price? We are paying our price with our body, with our organs, with our emotions, with the corruption of morality, with a lack of sympathy, lack of empathy. We are turning out to be a cold animals. Is that the way we want to survive in the coming years? That's the question we need to ask. This is not smartness, that's foolishness, which we ourselves redefine as smartness. So I think it's time for us all to become awakened and also to realign, re-question ourselves, are we really smart? Or is just that we are over-informed?
Civil session, ma'am. And thanks for your time, what you have shared with us. And let me call Akshata ma'am to say vote of thanks.
Morning all. Strength does not come from the physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will, said by Mahatma Gandhi. During the guest lecture, we got a lot of insights on accountability which is prevailing in the society. I, Professor Akshata, on behalf of the Department of BB Aviation Management, Koshys Institute of Management Studies, would like to thank the Medical Director of Mind and Brain Hospital, Dr. Safiya ma'am, for taking us through the pros and cons of substance abuse. The session was highly thought-provoking and impactful. Thank you, ma'am, for visiting our campus, and thank you, team. My heartiest thanks to the management team, Professor Amna Sen, the HOD, who was pivotal in arranging the guest lecture, and all the faculty team of the department. I thank you, dear students, for your presence and patience. Let us take a decision to be a good human being, which will help the society, nation, and the world at large. Thank you all.